we're teaching guys in Orlando and Cincinnati and Boise to do this. So police body cam, and the idea is, you know, this way they can watch it on video rather than have to come here and hang out with me.
Okay.
So tell me what we got cooking today.
Well, so you've got like a 4-foot wide stone foundation, right? So you've been there 120 years, so I'm not too worried about that. But how well the house is tied to that foundation concerns me, and whether there's any rot in structural piece.
Right.
So that's kind of my main concern on this, is how to make sure it's no big hidden surprises.
What year is the home?
2003. I mean 1903.
1903. Yeah, that's been here for a minute.
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I do some solar development, selling air purifiers now.
Mm-hmm.
The business doing that, and do a few other little things. My daughter really likes this house. I've actually bought this because I can separate lots off here, to the right and the left.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually potentially a key lot, a flag lot behind it that's not otherwise accessible. So I think there's an opportunity to put in some other homes around it,
mm-hmm.
and lower the price so she can afford to live here. She's a school teacher, even though she has a degree in applied statistics, so she could make good money, but
she's a school teacher.
She's a school teacher right now. Yeah.
Yeah. School teacher sounds like $50,000 a year. Applied statistics sounds like double that.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking to her about that, but she didn't appreciate it. She was also a cheer coach and won national championship or state championship, so she's happy about that. Now she's quitting because she's got 2 kids and it's too much or too little. Because that pays like $1 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheer coach, that sounds like $18 an hour. Yeah. Yep, I get it. So what do we got, an acre here?
It's just 0.4, a little less.
Really?
But they have this, it's called infill overlay here,
mm-hmm.
where you can do a parcel that's 55 feet, this would be 56 feet, and split it into 3. So I don't know, I mean, that's a separate deal, but just, you know, talking about it.
So what does...
something like that.
Yeah.
There's a few other alternatives where you use the ADU here, like a garage, and an apartment over the top, rather than a separate house. So that's the other alternative.
Well, I'm thinking an ADU might do well because we're close enough to all the ski resorts.
Well, it'd probably have to be, I think, a regulation long term. But rents are so high here, there's just nothing for rent. You pay $3,000 a month for any kind of a small.
Really? That's quite a bit.
Yeah, so it's a big one. And we've got condos going for $500,000. Stuff. So this was $600,000.
Well, alrighty. Let's.
You graduated in civil engineering in '84. BYU.
Yeah.
I graduated in '86. We have crossed some paths, but I was a bit behind you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Code to get in?
I see a key, Supra key box, so I can.
The guy will tell you how to get in. Realtor. Believe it or not.
Let's just see if I can find. I only use this about every couple of months. Maybe we'll go here and look for it. Squeeze Strength Supra right there. Let's see, not authorized to open this lockbox. Maybe because it's Hebrew. Let's try that again. If not, do you have the combo for this other one?
No, but Matt, my realtor, I didn't ask him.
Yeah, it says I'm not authorized.
All right, so let me give you the code. Let me use the code. Hey, Matt. Hey, I'm here with that inspector. His can't wait again, but his work he's not from keeping this area, I guess. Do you have the code for him to get in? He said he sent it to you. So,
Oh. All right, what's our house number?
What's it? It's 481 South, 400 East.
Okay, 481. 1560.
Oh, I guess you got it?
Yep.
Okay, sorry, he's got it. All right, thanks. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right, sounds good, Matt. Thanks. All right, bye.
Okay, I think we're in.
Okay.
Should we start on the outside?
All right.
So, obviously, these stones here are not level.
All right.
And I need to get a different clip. That's going to happen probably twice again. That just indicates that the soil here is liable to settle as water happens. That's okay here. We just don't want it doing that to the house. So you see we've got a sandstone block going here, or maybe, yeah, that looks like sandstone. That's pretty common for homes this age. Looks like it's been painted more than once. And then we've got framing above it, which is helpful because a lot of these older homes will have masonry going all the way up.
Right.
Up here is where the birds are going to be getting in.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll want to seal that up. Birds and bats and creepy crawlies of various varieties. And that would be the old coal chute right there. Did you have particular concerns about the structure? Or just wanted kind of an overall check everything out?
Yeah, just check everything out.
Okay.
I'm not sure what this rock, concrete stuff is there.
Yeah, that was the old porch. So you've got a 2x8 beam out here supporting this deck that is undersized, and it's showing signs of failure.
Is it 1 2x8 or 2 2x8?
Looks like 2. This one on this side looks like a 2x6. Yeah, 30 inches, I believe, is the number for that.
Maybe 1 to 30.
4 steps there. Let's see. (2'3", 27 inches.
That'd be illegal.
So they built it up just enough here to avoid the 30-inch requirement.
There's a whole bunch of balusters in the basement. So
Okay, yeah, you see this beam here,
yeah.
and that's That's 3 2x8s, it looks like. And I can do the calcs on that, but it looks like we're overspanning. Let me ask you to stand right here in line with that column. Yeah, right there. Okay. (8'5". I'll run the calculations, but I'm pretty sure it's overspanned. Let's see. I'm going to create a note. Two. Okay, yeah, I'll run the calc on that. I suspect that's going to need to be redone. We got 4 steps here. We need a handrail here. That's not a structural thing. You know, your roof is on the way out, and we don't have gutters here. We do over there. Well, that was important. Door. Yeah. Maybe they went out that door more often.
How good the roof is.
That's an architectural shingle. That's going to be a 30-year roof, and it's probably past 25 years old. It also doesn't have the attic ventilation that you want. It doesn't have any, at least not that I can see on this side. So I imagine maybe one thought you had is to just mow this thing down and put another structure up.
Well, the realtor, the owner, the owner passed away, and it's a trustee who's a friend of hers. They asked about that, but that's probably only worth $400,000 actually for the structure up.
Yeah. So the lot is you figure the lot is worth about $400,000?
Maybe you split it in half. You could do 2. If you do 3, maybe you can get 5.
Yeah. But that would be much less of a deal.
You could split in 3 because the infill only works if you're keeping it. Okay, so I don't know.
Yeah. What I've seen of the foundation is it looks pretty good thus far, given the age that we're dealing with.
Look at these beams here, though. You see how much they're sloping down there? Is that just settle or is that a design thing?
I don't see any sign of stress or movement.
And it seemed to be consistent on both sides.
Yeah. No, and you got a healthy beam there. That looks like, you know, you do have this guy here going on, that crack going there. 8.5 feet. They seem to be consistent at 8.5, and then you got to the center, so that would be a 9-foot span. How are you? Yeah, there's really no load on that. Just a roof snow load here, and then whatever comes in from above.
Right.
I'm Garth.
Thanks, Mark. Nice to meet you.
Gotcha.
You'll be YouTube famous. So, yeah, the question is whether this beam above these columns is overloaded. Looks like it's at least a double, probably a triple 2x10 at 9 feet span, but the snow load really isn't a lot. It is Heber, and you do have the upper roof that is draining onto the lower one. This one shows some sign of stress. It's been painted over, and we don't know if that happened last week or 20 years ago. If it turns out that you've got a problem there, you could just sister that 2x12, meaning stacking that one onto the side. And that would be the reinforcement for that. So the lumber would cost you, I don't know, $50. And then you'd be into it, the cost of some screws. So if it turns out I'm wrong, it'll cost you under $100. But I don't think that's going to be what you hired me to find. You do get some snow up here.
Yeah, especially last year.
Are you from this area?
No, Arizona.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not man enough to live up here. It's just too cold, too much snow.
Yeah, at times.
So I will make a note of this one, just to give you some ammo. But from a structural point of view, not that interesting to me. Original lumber is nice. Well, it's probably not original, but it's definitely old.
Yeah.
It's colder in here than it is outside.
Yeah.
That might be a clue.
10-foot ceilings is cool. This will be an addition. You can see that this floor slopes way down at this corner. And
So it goes to the original foundation, all right? You mean by addition, like the porch or something? Or?
yeah, this is going to be an addition, and that foundation for this addition will have settled. That would be because we either didn't do compaction well enough, which, well, I'm going to go for and rather than either. We got a compaction issue and we've got a drainage issue. So get your water away from all of the structure.
Yeah.
And compaction, I'm expecting this is probably in the range of 50 years old, so the compaction should have occurred by now. So what you can do is you can go to a place like Home Depot, you can get a floor leveling compound. You've dealt with it before?
I've seen that.
Okay.
That adds a bit of weight, though, doesn't it?
Not that much. Go ahead.
Well, you got to figure out. You're gonna have to put it on both sides because it's bowed in the middle.
Yeah.
But this is the edge of the original foundation, right?
No,
No, this is an addition.
This is a straight wall of stone. all the way on the side, right?
That's right, but I think they added this in their mind. This was the outside walls here.
I'm still thinking it's an addition. They probably jogged. Well, you've got the original rock and mortar here.
Yeah.
And we don't have any water dripping here.
Maybe the slab just broke. But how do you get the bow?
That's a lot of settlement considering that this is not a snow load bearing wall. We'll have to see in the basement what direction the joists go. That will provide a little more information.
Space here, Mike.
Yeah, only it's a bit of a mess because the beam on the outer end is undersized, and I'm gonna verify that with some calculations. Basically, just design a beam for a deck this size. But in addition to that, these planks, they either need some love or just replaced.
Yeah. Is this locked?
Yeah, I unlocked it. Before we go down, let's go up. Wow.
Raised step there.
Yeah. That'll get your guests.
And I noticed here, it's pretty tight on the.
Yeah, people were shorter back then. And you don't have a handrail here either.
Is that required?
I'm going to say, well, I can argue two ways on that. One is the house grandfathers. Mm-hmm. The others is, yes, it's required.
What is this? Is this pine?
Sure looks like it. Yeah. The elevation for your throne there is interesting.
Yeah.
That's how they run it.
Man, this looks like an addition too. But the floor beneath us wouldn't verify that. This has got to be a bedroom, but having a window there is also an interesting choice.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
I'm not seeing any attic ventilation. Yeah, this roof obviously is terraced here. And take a look at your chimney up there.
Yeah, I saw the bricks are
just hanging there. So the concept with attic ventilation is that as the sun hits your asphalt shingle, the shingle heats up. It's going to transfer the heat into the attic. Now your attic's hot, and it's going to bake, and it's going to transfer that heat down into the living space, make your home less comfortable and more expensive to heat and cool. Next thing that happens is with everything baking, now your shingle is baking, and that's going to age your shingle, and instead of a 30-year shingle, now you've got an 18-year shingle. So the fix for that is to allow the superheated air to escape. Now maybe you don't have as much superheated air in the summer in Heber. And I don't see any attic vents on the neighbors' homes, but this one will have some.
You're out of Salt Lake.
Yeah.
There's a slope on this deck, isn't there?
You see the extreme unevenness here. We're starting right flush here, and by that point we're at 4 inches.
Yeah.
And that's just welcome to, what year did you say?
1903.
1903, yeah. This home's been around for a minute. You see that this door was shaved so that it would continue to function. So the house has been moving. The good news is this looks very much like an original door. You know, that door looks like, you know, early 1900s. So that's helpful because we know it's been functional for all those years. You got a hump here. Wonder why they would have removed. They had carpet.
Yeah, so the realtor pulled the erratic carpet out of here.
Okay.
They painted the inside and pulled the carpet. That's what they did to it when she died, and to get rid of cell.
Got it. So what sort of flooring are you intending to use?
I don't know.
Obviously, we got a lot of squeaks going here. That is not a structural thing. It will annoy you.
Yeah.
And this would actually be a good time to maybe tear off these floorboards and put in some subfloor. And that will improve. If you do the glue and screw thing, that'll improve the squeakiness. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Okay.
So like ton groove floorboards. I mean, the
no.
4x8 sheets.
Yeah, the 4x8 sheets, and the idea is you would glue the top side of the joists, and then belt and suspenders. You're going to also screw from the top side.
Okay.
And that helps to eliminate the cracking. You can see we're flush here and there, but we're definitely not flush at that point. We're not flush over here either.
It's weird.
How when you put in like 4x8 flooring sheets, how do you deal with the unevenness on this? You have to shimmy below it or something?
You swear a lot. Yeah.
The other hand is, the nice thing about it, Mike, is this great ghost detector.
Yeah, if you got teenagers trying to escape, they hate a creaky house.
It's great Scooby-Doo.
Why did they do this? Why they would raise this up? Yeah.
To make up for the slant going down and away that way, at that edge of the house, it's all down.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, grandpa construction, it's like grandma complains, grandpa does something. Yeah, there's no good reason to do that.
Yeah. It's not enough to help with any kind of piping or anything. So.
Have you checked all the plumbing in the house?
No, that's something else. That's something.
So you could argue that you have handrail until you get here, and then you got handrail down there. So maybe you put something small in here, but I guess you could say maybe this is handrail. But you could also, like I said, argue that you've got grandfathering. Who's going to be in the house? Are you going to have?
Well, right now we do my daughter and 2 little kids and her husband.
Well, they're pretty much guaranteed to be jumping off of, the stairs up here.
Yeah.
All right, how do we get down? Is that this way? All right. Oh, this is not a dungeon at all.
Down steps, going to concrete.
Stone and concrete.
Rock and mortar. This looks kind of beautiful. Man, this is cool.
Actually, yes, isn't it? That is kind of a cool thing.
Man, if you could figure out how to turn this into the ADU, this would be a cool little overnight stay. I guess you got your mechanicals here.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good, actually. They look recent.
But these are all looking extremely solid.
That was a coal chute at one point, don't you think?
Sure was. Yep. And you got a little bit of a mess going on here. But I don't have a structural problem with it.
There's also a chimney or a vent outlet up here.
Yeah, so our joists, that joist goes this way. This, yeah, that's going that way.
Or the other way.
This beam goes this way. We've got a big old chute here from up above.
Even like a chimney from a boiler or something like that.
Yeah, you've got asbestos lining up above us here. So yeah, this is where the heat source would have been. Probably a boiler. Yeah, this white stuff here, asbestos. And let me show you. Right here, you see this beam? Yeah. How it lands on the rock, but doesn't really land on this foundation.
Oh yeah.
Shoot.
Wait, this is some recent. Here, look at that.
Shoot. Don't like it. Shoot. That should do better. So yeah, this beam, and you see it's been sistered, and that's relying on not only this stone to hold it up, but these nails to hold things together. So what you're going to want to do is come up with a single column right here and just run it straight down. And I'll put that in the report.
What is that stuff above there?
Yeah, that's probably asbestos. Asbestos is an excellent...
carcinogen is what it is.
Yes, it does that very well. But it's also a good heat insulator, yeah. And then you see that there's some unprettiness going on here.
The mechanicals look recent, actually.
Shoot. Yeah, a lot of this just looks like a cave-in waiting to happen. Shoot. You'll want to rebuild a lot of this, and that's why the floor is sagging like it is, is because this outer wall here is is suffering. It's interesting because most of this wall looks great, but then you get right into this corner and it's just suffering. But the joists go that way, and that's helpful. And that is not a load-bearing, snow-bearing wall. So if the whole thing did just crumble in an earthquake, you'd still have a house. If you're going to have a wall go bad, this is the one you want to pick. But this is not pretty. This is a bit of a mess right here. And the reason for that is probably because we had a furnace right here that was causing a lot of heat, and it weathered this area.
Okay. Is this asbestos or is this plaster?
That looks like plaster.
Okay, so just lath and plaster.
Yeah, that's just lath and plaster. That electrical is a little scary. You'll definitely want to get an electrician in here.
Is that hot, do you think? 'Cause
That I
did
couldn't.
you see this new panel over here?
Yeah, hopefully
I wonder if that's even hot. 'Cause look at
But that's like sewer right here, right?
Yeah,
You think it's worth having that checked out too?
absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, look at this wood here is what I noticed too.
Dang. Yeah, notched, weathered, rugged beams. And he sistered it with just whatever random piece of lumber he had kicking around. And then did a coal miner support system with the 2x4.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty big beam for that 2x4.
Sure is. Shoot. And we've got these plates down here. Yeah, this is what sometimes gets called Jenga block construction. You've got a bit of a mess down here. And, notches like this guy here and this one are a problem. And then to have the coal miner temporary supports that become permanent, also not good. You can see how the floor has sunk once you get past that point of support.
Yeah.
the other thing I might have mentioned, if you can see it, maybe it's my imagination, but if you see how the line from here to here goes kind of down this way, which is different than the line over here that goes down this way. See what I'm saying? So if you extended these lines, it would come down to a point somewhere down here, but there's no wood there.
Yeah.
So the stress right there at that point is what maybe causes.
And that probably explains this stress crack right here. This beam has failed. It's not about to fail. It's not that it could fail. It has failed. That's not a beam, that's a joist. But we really need to make this support system reliable, and that's going to cost you some money. This could be the deal killer here. I told you stuff outside didn't scare me. This does. It's going to be very difficult to get into that. You'd have to remove the first floor and rebuild this, and then you can put your first floor back.
I'm not sure if I can do that.
You don't, is what he's saying.
Again, super cool room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is where the tortures happen.
yeah, Mike's into that.
You've got copper plumbing over there that's not exactly code, but not a big surprise. And you don't need me to tell you that you'll never escape out that window.
Right.
So this is technically not a bedroom. What a cool room, though. Yeah, I'm thinking that this house is, despite its cool factor, this house is a strong candidate for removal.
Mm.
Or you do the infills and then you do the removal.
You could pour just loads and loads and loads of concrete down here. Make it,
So basically, you have to try to, you can't just like sister these beams, joists.
You could if you could get to them.
You have to tear all this plumbing and.
Yeah, but sistering them doesn't address the coal miner thing, where you got this beam that is being supported by basically nothing over there, and by a horizontal 2x4, which could never begin to hold that load. So
Right.
to address that, they've stacked in this 2x4 here, and we would need to do better than that.
Yeah.
So this would be some work, and what I'm going to suggest is that if you're emotionally married to the home, maybe you bring in a contractor and find out what the price tag would be to sister all of these and make sure that these beams and the joists all have something to rest on that's not air.
Yeah.
And find out what that price tag is and then decide if it's worth it. But you're also going to need to probably go through all of the electrical and just rip it out and replace it, and perhaps something.
Did they did anything, or did they just put a new panel in and?
That looks pretty good. It looks updated. But in many cases, when they do something like that, it's just there. They don't always go through the house and update things.
Yeah.
So I would find an electrician that you trust and have him go through this carefully. The darkness that you see here is a smoke stain, and in another house that would be very unnerving. In this house, it's just because we used to have
coal.
a coal over here, a burner of some sort. Look at this, we've got, okay, that's just an insulator. Don't try this at home. Good chance this has got asbestos in it.
We're backing away from that.
You're backing away?
We're just backing away.
Oh, from me. That's a good idea.
We're all three old enough that we should get
That's right.
this poison, would still survive another 30 years and be okay. You want to go that long? I actually like the rock, exposed rock down here.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Well, what's your emotional commitment to this house?
Mine isn't that high,
Okay.
but yeah, it would be. And we're probably talking 50,000 or more or something to fix this up.
Easily. I think more like 150, but get a real number from a real contractor. It could dip into the 250 range. because he might have to, I mean, he's got to put the beams and joists on something that's reliable. So that might actually mean pouring a new foundation on the inside so that you can rest the beams on something. Which probably not what you wanted to hear, but it's a project.
Okay. Well, that's what that's what I brought you in to figure this out. Right.
Yeah. It's usually I can play the role of the security blanket. Not this time. So, do you want a report that says that, or you want to just save $200 and walk?
I didn't think about that.
Okay. Why don't you pay me the lesser amount?
Okay.
And then if you decide you want the report, you can call me today at some point.
Okay.
And I have the pictures. Well, what I do is I'll show up to the office, sit down, write my reports, sweep the pictures from my phone over to the report, and once that's done, stand up, walk away, forget about everything. My phone and my brain are clean once again for tomorrow's stuff. So, you know, I'm totally able to do that, but call me today.
Okay. All right, we'll do that.
All right, so that means that at least for now, I don't need your email unless you've already given it to me.
I think I did.
Okay. Well, if you decide you need the report, let me know and we'll do that.
Okay.
So,
Today.
yeah. Yeah, how do you feel about this? What are your thoughts?
I haven't run the numbers with them. I don't know what they're asking for the house. The asking price, what you could get the house for, if they want it, it depends. If you sit down with the owner and you say, look, you offer Mike a price, it's $200,000 less than they're asking. Then you can then just take ownership of the property and either demolish the home or take that savings and put it into this thing. For me, I think there's too many floor layers on this house that I would want to mess with it unless I was. Here's the other thing too. Let's say you had $1 million just because you're a billionaire and you throw it at this house. This is not in a nice area. It's not like you're supported by other nice old homes in the neighborhood, really. I mean, if you want to.
It's the only home on the block that's not 70s standard.
Yeah,
this house over here they built onto is a big house, but
I think I'd take the lot for the land value. I'd buy it, get them to come off the price for the structure, and then take it from there as to what kind of house you would put on there. I tell you, a house, the lot is wonderful for modern purposes, for either a home or I don't know how it's zoned. It's probably just residential.
here again, we're talking 150 or 200,000 probably to fix it up.
Yeah, I think you could easily spend that much here.
Mm. Yeah, if you just do the simple 600,000 or $200,000 lots, that leaves you 200,000 for the house. So 200,000 more.
I'd pay him. This is just me talking. I'd tell him, yes, give me the full blow, the $200. Well, here's your 200. Get the report generated. If you have any intention of negotiating with this person,
I may as well just have you do the report.
Okay.
And down, so I can just pay for that.
All right. I'm in a weird business. I don't ever try to upsell anybody. They upsell themselves.
no, I like what you're doing, but if you're going to be in any more negotiations on beyond today or thinking about it beyond today, and I know your daughter, she'll have you doing that. You'll want to show her, hey, I spent the $200, we got this done. You read the report.
Is she more emotionally attached to the home?
But she's smart, and she'll look at this report as scientific research.
And she doesn't have big money to
Right.
put into this, right? So.
Okay.
But Mike does.
No. Might just spend his money on this house, but if he doesn't spend on this house, then it'll be okay.
But I mean, if the property's a good deal and then you raise the house, you could put a nice home in here. The problem is, even if you put a nice home in here, you're surrounded by 70s homes.
Yeah. Okay, well then send me your email. Payment I can do cash, check, credit card, PayPal, Venmo.
Can we just do credit card or?
Let's do a card. So my card reader was being difficult today, but I can punch it in manually. Let's see if I can turn this thing off. Off, I say. Now, let's do this. We'll just punch it in manually.
If you're decided you don't need it, then don't do it. But if you need evidence to your daughter that you've given it due diligence, I can see how she fell in love with this.
It's a really cool house. It's just not reliable from a structural point of view. Going 800, and I'll go. All right, I'm ready.
5580 1000 0220 0512 0627
3-digit code.
698
Billing zip code.
84032.
Okay. And the receipt was sent to MC something at SM something.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, it's a project. And if your daughter's going to be here, then she's going to expect you to spiff it all up for her.
Yeah.
Cool doorbell.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be a busy guy. Do you have the time for
I
that?
know it's a bit of a distraction for everything else that we're too. Because I get off on tangents, but I mean the idea of splitting the lots off of the people too. An ADU or something that could help offset some of the costs. But
Right. Are you retired?
no, fortunately. Dan is retired. Just okay.
You want the key, Mike?
Oh, he's got a. We'll put it back in the box. I guess. Yeah, I think it's box. I found it out, but.
Actually, I had a call today where they're consulting me for a project, so
What variety of project?
it's digital identification. It's PIN captures. I don't know what the easements are.
Should be the box. Give me that flag and back here. Like 10 feet.
Oh, what's this one right there? What's that kind of flags up there?
That'll be the corner of the block. It'll be 5,600 square foot.
How many people are going to want to build their new dream home?
Well, it's not a dream home. It's still a low.
Or even a low?
Yeah, we need a crack house. Crack house.
But it's still even.
It'd be something like that house,
Yeah.
you know, but maybe a little hotter on it.
Well, two wide and one on top.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to
And what about Mike? And then on that side, you
we
can
can do
probably
the same thing. And then there's a right down the square foot behind it. It's 50 feet wide in the front. There's a house there, like 50 feet outside. So all that land is unused behind that fence. So I could do a flag lot off the side over here and access that.
How many square feet is that lot?
Well, so that was what was interesting to me. I don't know.
Well,
That's too bad. That structure was so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of house.
And I'm not even sure what kind of contractors will have to do this. Well,
Could you?
most of the contractors are not retrofitting
Now,
120-year-old homes.
you need somebody who's been around the block.
Is there any way they could put some steel beams through the bottom of it this way, going through this stone, slide some steel beams into there?
I mean, steel will always work, but it's still got to be supported by something reliable, which is why I kind of suspect you're going to be pouring a new interior foundation for most of them.
And you've got it right now. It's just a floor inside that foundation. I mean, there's no. You can't just go right to the floor because it's just concrete. That's just a slab, right? You have to, unless you can somehow jack it up and then put the beam under the rock.
Yeah, jack up the house.
Well, I mean,
yeah, hard.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yes.
Very special.
And then it's still not straight in the interior of the house. All those other fluctuations that go through the house.
Yeah. That's the thing is you put once or twice into there and it's an old house and then it burns down because you got bad wiring.
And then when it's now it's an old expensive house, and someone says, "Here, why do I want to buy an expensive house in this neighborhood?"
Right. Yep.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks again. Good meeting you guys.
Yeah.
Let me know if you have any questions. Yeah. Graduated in '83. Got a master's in '84.
So it's 83 when
Yeah.
I didn't start hanging out to the Clydesville Hotel. 83 or 4, I guess, probably.
Yeah. We would have crossed paths for a minute there. You guys have a good one.